This video contains discussion of mass murder and suicide, which some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
The Bronx, where police are investigating what appears to be a murder-suicide involving 4 people inside a public housing development.
Yeah, our Jay Dow is at the scene in Castle Hill section of the Bronx with the very latest.
I know them for more than 40 years.
A distraught Ramona Mendez speaking Wednesday afternoon about her dear friend and neighbor.
I cannot believe it. She was a friend of mine, but everybody knew her in Castle Hill. Everybody.
That friend, also a senior who lived in the same Castle Hill public housing development in the Bronx. During a wellness check on her friend, police discovered a grisly scene. 4 bodies found inside her apartment. The result, law enforcement sources say, of a murder-suicide. Sources going on to say the older woman who lives in that apartment was murdered by her own 44-year-old son. Before he apparently took his own life, that son is accused of also killing his own 26-year-old daughter and his daughter's boyfriend.
On a quiet morning in the Bronx, inside a public housing apartment where 3 generations lived under one roof, tragedy struck. A tragedy so shocking, so heartbreaking, that it left an entire community stunned and grieving. This is the story of the Stukes family. Castle Hill houses, one of the largest public housing complexes in New York City. Thousands of residents, generations of families, everyday people striving and surviving under the same roof. Inside one apartment lived the Stukes family, a family known for love, resilience, and strong community ties. The victims were 3 members of the same family. 75-year-old Teresa Stukes, the beloved family matriarch. 26-year-old Kiana Stukes, a young mother with her whole future ahead of her. 33-year-old Andrew Reynoso, Kiana's boyfriend.
Straight out of swamp where the pain don't sleep, digging through the truth where the crime runs deep. From the bottom to the top, let the facts all spray. Welcome to the grind, this crime the Eway. The streets don't lie, they scream my name.
Police identified the suspect as 44-year-old Kasim Stukes, Teresa's son, Kiana's father. He was found dead inside the apartment from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after allegedly killing his family.
Breaking news. 4 people are dead after what police sources are calling a potential murder-suicide in the Castle Hill houses. News 12's Lindsay Tanny has been at the scene all day, and she joins us now with the latest information. Lindsay.
Yeah, Amanda, truly such a horrific day for the Castle Hill community. We know that 4 people were found dead inside this apartment building behind me. Police sources telling us that all of the bodies had trauma on them. They found a firearm at the scene, and they're also looking into the possibility of the victims being a family.
Police roll a body outside 2225 Lacombe Avenue. That's where 4 people were found dead inside an apartment.
I'm shocked. I thought this was a safe community.
Police say a 44-year-old man, a 75-year-old woman, a 26-year-old woman, and another man in his 20s were all found inside the apartment. 1 by the couch, 1 by the door, and 2 in the back of a 5th-floor apartment. We saw a family member crying outside the building, sending the community into chaos. Neighbors telling us what they know.
It was Stukes, his daughter, her boyfriend, and the mother. They're all in the apartment dead.
This woman says it was a man that goes by Stukes and his family. We spoke with his neighbor who says he saw him this morning.
How did he see you?
Scared, agitated, crying, like weird.
What did he say to you?
Say you're at court. Take care of your family. Say you love my family.
He says the man then said, "You're not going to see me anymore."
I was pacing back and forth myself, thinking, what's he talking about? Like, what could I have said to him?
When I heard the news, I was in shock. I started crying.
She says the 75-year-old woman, Teresa, was extremely kind. Everyone in the building loved her.
She was a good person, celebrity. I call her the golden girl and stuff like that. And she was a wonderful person.
Bronx, where police are investigating what appears to be a murder-suicide involving 4 people inside a public housing development.
Yeah, our Jay Dow is at the scene in Castle Hill section of the Bronx with the very latest.
I know them for more than 40 years.
A distraught Ramona Mendez speaking Wednesday afternoon about her dear friend and neighbor.
I cannot believe it. She was a friend of mine, but everybody knew her in Castle Hill. Everybody.
That friend, also a senior who lived in the same Castle Hill public housing development in the Bronx. During a wellness check on her friend, police discovered a grisly scene. 4 bodies found inside her apartment. The result, law enforcement sources say, of a murder-suicide. Sources going on to say the older woman who lives in that apartment was murdered by her own 44-year-old son. Before he apparently took his own life, that son is accused of also killing his own 26-year-old daughter and his daughter's boyfriend. Sources add the son was seen on video leaving his mother's apartment to make a phone call early Wednesday morning before going back inside about 15 minutes later. He did not come back out. His body found Wednesday on the couch with a gun in his hand.
Oh my God. That's her son. I know him too.
News of this tragedy spreading quickly among other residents.
Just seen it yesterday. She seemed fine. Her son told somebody in the building he went upstairs to see a friend of his, and she was on her way to work. He told him, he said, okay, I'm sorry we couldn't get together. I'll see you in the next life.
The exact circumstances still unclear, but sources going on to say the 44-year-old son allegedly responsible for killing 3 of his relatives did have an open gun case, and according to Ms. Mendez, a sometimes rocky relationship with his mother.
He was in jail before.
Did you ever know him to have mental issues or emotional problems?
I mean, I know that he used to use his, his drugs and all that. She didn't want him in the house because he was,
There is so much that we don't know about this case. The names of the victims, we have them, but we're not releasing them because they haven't been officially released by the police department. And if just standing here on the sidewalk, I'm listening to people, everyone talking about the oldest victim, described by Miss Mendez as the mayor of the Castle Hill houses. Everyone knew her. So many people distraught this evening.
A Bronx family is shattered, mourning the loss of 4 loved ones who were killed in a shocking suspected murder-suicide. News 12's Heather Fordham spoke with one family member exclusively tonight as they turn their grief into a desperate plea for help for others who are struggling.
For Darius Rivers, all he has left of his aunt and cousins are these videos, joyful moments now locked in the past.
This is my auntie. Like, everybody lived with auntie.
His 75-year-old aunt, Teresa Stukes, his cousin, 26-year-old Kiana Stukes, her boyfriend, 33-year-old Andrew Reynoso, were found dead inside their apartment at the Castle Hill houses on November 5th.
This is our biggest loss, And it's like, there's no way of really getting past this.
Police believe Kasim Stukes killed his mother, daughter, and her boyfriend before taking his own life in a devastating murder-suicide.
He was a good man, despite this tragedy.
Rivers says his cousin Kasim was pivotal in his childhood, but struggled with his mental health after serving time.
Our family is suffering. The media already painted him as a monster, not knowing he lost his brother and his father, and to be a product of his environment. Despite being in the system, he turned his life around. He got 2 jobs.
The grief is raw, and the questions as to why this happened may never be answered.
I wish I knew, but I really don't.
As Rivers mourns, he is reminded of his cousin Kiana Daly and his aunt Teresa, a profound loss that underscores the devastating reach of the mental health crisis.
This is my 1-year anniversary of getting her name tattooed on me. Like, she was my best friend, and I really love her to death. She was just an amazing person.
Rivers wants to share their tragedy in hopes of encouraging others to seek help before it's too late.
Please don't neglect your mental health. Save yourself and your family some time by just, going to actually speak to somebody.
In Castle Hill, Heather Fordham, News 12, The Bronx.
This tragedy highlights a painful truth. When mental health issues, trauma, legal pressure, and access to firearms collide, families can become the battlefield.
Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to Crime the Eway for more stories like these.